I'm not going to include the full original intro, just a small part that's relevant. The beasts' bodies are trapped in their domains. Mainly in the process of recovering the beasts, the main role that Dark Enchantress played would have been getting them their soul gems and freeing them, not so much so the bodies part. Shadowmilk is shown as a shadow, so in most of his episodes he will be like a shadow, but his physical body is trapped on a stage at the top of the spire. Burning Spice is trapped in his axe on a pedestal in his domain. I forgot Mystic Flowers. Sorry. I don't even know if I thought about that one. And Eternal Sugar Cookie is trapped in a statue of herself in her domain. I don't know if Salt had one or if Salt was gonna be trapped or anything, because Salt, okay. When I came up with this idea, Salt wasn't out yet. This is just a really long project that never, ever got finished. Just, like most of my Cookie Run projects, they started like a year ago. I tried to pick them back up. I couldn't pick them back up, and then I quit Cookie Run, and then now I'm just posting it. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. So, firstly, Mystic Flower. I didn't really want to change the design, to be honest, because I thought I wouldn't be able to change much. The idea behind the design was to make her look more sad and pathetic. And green. But this is honestly my least favorite design, mainly because of the execution. The colored outlines don't look good to me. If I were to revisit this, I'd probably keep her the same. As you'll see from the later ones, I wanted their beast forms to be visible in the design. Mystic Flower's visible change is her 8 eyes and extra arms under her outfit. For Cloud Het's I made them green. Her story doesn't change much from the final version, so it's not really worth talking about. The redesign for Burning Spice. I wanted Burning Spice to look more beastly, because he is the most beast-like out of all the beasts. So I pushed the centipede approach with his helmet and body. Now I could make him look more like a spice, but I could add more stuff to make it look like he was on fire. Thus the extra lava details. I thought this would end up like Mystic Flower, but surprisingly to myself, it didn't. I like this one. I wouldn't change any of his minions' designs because I like them the most out of all the minions. His story, just like Mystic Flowers, isn't changed much. Next, Shadowmilk Cookie, my least favorite beast. Let's go! Okay, so I don't like his design. Its colors clash and are way too bright, so I muted his colors. I also didn't know what those weird things on his staff and stuff were. I think they're blueberries? I'm not sure, but I made sure you could tell. I also put more droplets and stuff in his design to push the milk theme. I added more of a jester design because I thought Shadowmilk's weird suit didn't push that enough. Finally, his beast detail is his beetle-like hair, which he tries to hide most of the time. However, you can see them better when he's mad. I didn't change Black Sapphire, and Candy Apple only got changed because when I was drawing her in my notebook, I forgot her design. And I just ended up liking it a little bit more than her actual design. Not that I hate her actual in-game design. Shadowmilk is the first one to get a story change. Shadowmilk is now a cold analyst who only shows joy when he gets results or when he's acting. Near the other beasts, he's a cold leader, but near other cookies he jazzes it up. In Beast Yeast 1 and 2, his theater show now forces everyone to play out the history of the beasts and ancients. He makes Pure Vanilla and Elderfairy watch. He acts like he completely forgot White Lily cookies, so while everyone is trapped on the stage, she tries to find a solution. However, she ends up landing in the middle of the show. Shadowmilk is overjoyed at this, talking about how he was glad the last performer was on the stage, to demonstrate the part of the play where Elderfairy dies. He forces Elderfairy to fight White Lily Cookie with puppet strings, and eventually ends up with Elderfairy dying. I would also like to add that since his body isn't here, Shadowmilk is only a shadow, so when he does take form it's a replica of someone other than himself. So, in Shadowmilk's Beast Yeast, I only had the first half thought out, so Pure Vanilla basically gets separated from Gingerbrave & Co. He reads books around the spire and figures out about Shadowmilk's past. Then, when he makes it to the top of the spire, he sees Shadowmilk's body. Shadowmilk's shadow goads him into freeing his body. When Pure Vanilla reaches a hand out to him, Shadowmilk and Pure Vanilla switch places, trapping him on the stage. Pure Vanilla wasn't kept there long because the stage was meant to trap Deceit, but after that, his hell truly began. If I wrote that far, this is what happens when I scrap videos, man. But yeah, that's almost the full story, but there is one thing I need to talk about. Shadowmilk's voice. I was never fond of his voice actor. I thought it sounded kind of amateur and low quality and a little bit annoying and squeaky and inconsistent, which isn't, I don't know if it's exactly the voice actor's fault, because that could just be the director, the vocal director, not helping him out, but I decided to pick out a voice claim for Shadowmilk that I thought fit more, considering the Korean voice for Shadowmilk and everything. So, yeah, let's have a listen to that.
It's quite lonely being encased in stone, but you wouldn't know that, would you?
And all the truth does is make your heart ache.
Sometimes a lie is easier to take. I didn't. I truly didn't.
The second rule is every pony has to play or the game is over and I win.
Stop it! Stop it! That's it! Well, isn't this quite the combination of secondary characters? Makes sense. Oh, what fun is there in making sense?
Relax! I'm not going to hurt you. I'm simply going to send you to another dimension.
Oh. Oh. Well played.
Redesigning Eternal Sugar. I think Eternal Sugar looks way more boring than the other beasts. She's cute, don't get me wrong, but small details always made her design seem disappointing, so I changed her palette to make her seem more warm, like someone to trust. I also changed her outfit to be a little more detailed, which that change was inspired by my OC Regal Acorn cookie. Finally, I gave her hearts in her eyes, like Pavlova. For her minions, I didn't change Pavlova because I thought Pavlova looked great, but for Sugar Flies, I thought her design clashed a little too much, so I added some more, details. They're small changes. For the story, Eternal Sugar is a passionate cookie and wants everyone to be happy, so when confronted with a cookie who thought similarly to herself, she thought she found someone special. Eternal Sugar kind of always envied the other cookies who could have people so close to them. Hollyberry found herself in Sugar's garden, and once Hollyberry came in contact with Eternal Sugar Cookie's statue, she sprung to life. Sugar was obsessed with restoring it to its beauty, and wanted Hollyberry's help with that. Hollyberry didn't like the idea of being stuck in one place forever. Sugar said she would give Hollyberry 3 days to see if she liked the garden, then she could leave. Sugar would set up things like in the normal story to force her to stay or interact with her. Finally, when Hollyberry decides to leave, Eternal Sugar Cookie's garden begins to rot around her. Cookies who seemed fine before crumble as she shows her true beast form. She isn't mad, just really sad. Hollyberry soon realizes what the garden is, what it represents. Everyone trapped there represents the happiness Sugar tries to keep up, her burden. Once defeated, Hollyberry says she'll meet Sugar again once she finally leaves her garden. She says she has responsibilities, not only to her friends and her family, but also to herself. That responsibility being her adventures. Sugar semi-understands. Hollyberry's happiness comes from the danger she puts herself in, because she knows she's protecting the one she loves. It's the same as Sugar, but that couldn't be right, because she's working for danger, and Sugar is working for happiness. Maybe both are stressful, and if working for happiness is just as difficult as adventuring is for Hollyberry, maybe it doesn't make her happy. Okay, so that's it. I don't have a section for Silent Salt because I didn't see any flaws with him. I liked his design. I don't think he could have pushed the salt aspect anymore. I thought it was very clever. For beastly parts, I mean, I didn't want to try and add it because I struggled enough with it with the others, to be honest. I also have no section on the war arc because that happened after all my ideas for the rewrite, and that's when I decided to stop playing Cookie Run. And that's why this video got canceled mainly. I just wasn't into Cookie Run, and that's why it took so long to record. So, yeah. Okay, I know I said that was the end of the video, but if you're still here, thank you for watching, and also, I'm selling 4 adoptable Magical Girl characters for $32 each. They come with their base Magical Girl design, as well as their human design, and a reference sheet full of 4 expressions that they can make, including sad/nervous, scared, angry, and happy. So, if you're interested, check out my Tumblr's pinned message for more on the subject. Thank you again for watching.